Hello, welcome to another World of Tanks game. Today I'm playing in the Matilda, the famous British early war infantry tank. Now the Matilda in this game basically has two things going for it. It has very thick armour for its tier. It's pretty much 75mm all round, more or less, apart from like 55 at the back. And it has a very accurate and fast firing gun, the 2-pounder with the Little John adapter in this case. On this particular version I've got the vents installed and I've got crew with not with full brothers in arms. I've got the gun rammer. So I don't have brothers in arms on this tank yet. So I've got the reload time down to 1.77 seconds, which is ridiculous by World of Tanks standards. I think that's faster than some autoloaders. However, we have a problem. And the problem here is the fact that in this game I am bottom tier. I'm in a tier 4 medium tank in a game where half the team are in tier 6. Now, the Matilda is a bit of a funny tank because against anything on tier or lower it absolutely wipes the floor with everybody. Its armour is too heavy for anybody to penetrate, really, and its gun has enough penetration that it can pretty much destroy anybody else. I've got 9 kills in this tank once. The problem we have is if it's against anything above its tier, we have a serious problem, because then its armour is not thick enough to block anybody's shots. You know, you've got guns with 100-150mm of penetration, and this tank only has 75mm of armour, which, although it's high for tier 4, is not high for tier 6. And it does not have the hit points or the gun damage to really do anything much. You know, it can't act on the front line anymore, and this is a bit of an issue. I mean, this is the thing that kind of plagues all tier 4 tanks. I think Jingles has done a video about this, where he talks about this kind of thing, where tier 4 is basically the end of the beginner line. If you imagine tiers 1 to 3 as being beginner tanks, tier 4 is where you start getting into higher tier games where you're no longer a beginner, but your tank isn't good enough to fight against them. Unlike other tier 4 tanks, like say the M5 Stuart, which still has its speed, and the Stuart's speed is pretty good regardless of what game it's in, so you can still make a contribution. With the Matilda, your armour's not heavy enough, your gun's not powerful enough, and you are horribly slow. This tank was designed as an infantry tank, so it wasn't really meant to go much above walking pace, it was supposed to support infantry. Historically, the Germans were terrified of it. See, I just took 2 hits and now I've lost almost all my health, because this gun just has no art. This tank armour just is not good enough against anything in tier 6. Historically, the Germans' standard anti-tank gun was the 37mm, and that could do nothing against this tank at all. So until the Germans got the long 88s, the flat guns, into operation in the desert, the Matilda basically just wiped the floor with all of them because its armour was so thick. So how do I play this tank? Well, in a game like this, I do pretty much what I'm doing here, which is hide at the back somewhere and snipe from a distance, because the tank has very rapid fire, very accurate gun, and even though you only chip away at their hit points, I'm unlikely to get any kills, you can still make your contribution. Because you should always, as I said in the Valentine's video, you should always make a contribution, or at least make some kind of effort. You know, I get really annoyed by people who just decide, oh, I can't do anything in this game, so they deliberately suicide, or they just go AFK and just sit and spawn point until somebody kills them. That kind of attitude really annoys me. So what I'm doing here is essentially just taking pot shots at everybody, trying to chip off bits of HP here and there. I think I might get this guy, but no, somebody kills him before I do. And this is kind of what we've got to do with the Matildas. Either do this or follow the high tier heavies on your team around and just try and support them, because you will not hold the line on your own, or at all, because, you know, that KV-1S, if he was shooting at me, at the moment 1 hit and I'd be dead. If I had full health it would be at most 2 hits. And it takes me, he's got what, 600 health? It would take me a dozen shots to kill him, by comparison. So that's kind of how you play a Matilda in a game like this. You're too slow to keep up with anybody. Everybody's faster than you, everybody's got a bigger gun than you, and everybody is probably more heavily armoured than you, especially if they're a heavy tank. So now I can charge forward because there's a medium and there's some artillery. So, I mean, when I say charging, I mean we're still in a Matilda, and I still feel like the fat kid on the sports team, but I'm going as fast as my itty bitty engine and my itty bitty tracks will carry me. Artie got a good shot in there, I think that was Artie. It was Artie later. I know Artie comes up at some point. and running through the orchard, trying not to knock anything down because that will slow me down horribly, seeing if I can maybe get a kill. I can't remember whether I get a kill in this game. There's the artillery, and he's dead. And now, no, that was the T-34-85, sorry, can't see the screen. There's 2 more artilleries left. One of them could actually shotgun me as well. I basically, if anybody looks in my direction at the moment, I'm basically dead. M44, Cromwell heading towards him, and the artillery nails him. And then we just got the one last guy, the FV304, who's around somewhere. There he is. Cromwell goes to kill him. One shot. Artillery comes in again, misses, and then he ammo racks him. And that's the end. So, I didn't die, I almost died, but not quite. And yeah, that's basically how you play a Matilda in a bottom tier game. Don't be shot at, because if you get shot at, you will be hurt. You don't have the speed to dodge anybody, and unless you've got really high camo, you are going to be spotted. So try and stay at the back where you can't be spotted, let other people spot for you, and then just chip away at people's health, contribute as best you can. You are not going to carry the game. I mean, you just accept that, that's not going to happen, but you can do your bit and help your team win. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to start making more now. There's been a bit of a gap for a while. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. Any tank ideas, tank requests, anything else, feel free to leave those as well. And have fun getting shot. Thank you very much for watching.